Hello everyone, Dylan Stevens again, Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. In today's video, I wanted to discuss exercise intensity. So this is a broad term. It has a lot of different meanings for different types of exercise. So in today's video, I wanted to discuss the differences and the implications. So in terms of cardio and aerobic fitness, intensity is described as how close to your max heart rate you're training. You find your max heart rate by subtracting your age from 220. This is a general way of discovering your max heart rate, but this is just how people typically do it in the fitness world. In terms of strength, intensity is described as how close to your 1 rep max you're training at. So usually a 3 rep max is about 90% of your 1 rep max. 5 rep max is like 80% of your 1 rep max. When it comes to power training, intensity is described as how fast and how much effort you're putting into the movement. So if you're doing jumps, trying to jump as high as you can is 100% effort. And usually power exercises are supposed to be done at max intensity anyways. So intensity doesn't apply too much to power exercises. You should be going 100% for every power exercise you do for the most part. In terms of hypertrophy and muscular gain, intensity is described as how close to failure you're going. So when you have 5 reps left in the tank, you're not going very hard. Your intensity is low. When you're going to complete failure, that is 100% intensity. So in general, the intensity that you should be training at, no matter what exercise you're performing, whether it be cardio, power exercises, hypertrophy, or strength, it's going to come down to your goals and your experience level, as with most things. When you're a beginner, your intensity does not have to be very high in order to see a lot of results. It's just like your tolerance to coffee. Imagine the first time you had a cup of coffee, how energetic you felt, and then think about how a cup of coffee feels now. It's not the same. So your body will build up a tolerance to the lower intensity when you start off, and the more in shape you get in whether it be cardio or strength or size or power, you're going to have to keep increasing that intensity in order to see more results. So for a beginner to see results in, say, strength, their intensity does not have to be very high. Maybe close to 70% to 80% of their 1 rep max can produce results for a beginner if they're trying to get stronger. For a beginner that wants to put on weight and gain muscle, their intensity does not need to be very high. As I said, intensity for putting on muscle is described as how close to failure you're going. You don't want to take a beginner and have them going to failure on bicep curls or bench press, because they're just going to be sore for a week and it's going to take a long time before they're ready for the next workout. And they're not going to see better results than if they had been 5 reps away from failure. Like I said, their tolerance to growth is so low that they require very little stimulus to see results. Same thing with a cup of coffee. You don't need a full cup of coffee if you've never had a coffee before. You need maybe 1 or 2 sips and you'll be very energetic. If you do have a full cup of coffee and you've never had coffee before, your tolerance is going to go up way faster than it needs to, and you're going to be way too jittery, way too anxious. So you need to think about intensity for the experience level of the person that's working out. When this comes to cardio, it's the same thing. A sedentary individual that has not pushed themselves should not be going 100% on, say, a high intensity interval training. A beginner should slowly work up to 100% of their heart rate. So if you do want to build up to 100% as a beginner in cardio, you should slowly build up to 100%. You should start maybe at 75 or 80% and slowly increase that as you start to feel more comfortable within these ranges. So for intermediate and advanced individuals, intensity should be a slow progression from when they were a beginner. You should try to be increasing your intensity month by month, maybe week by week, but usually you want to give it a good month to really solidify the gains that you have made in terms of strength, hypertrophy, power, or cardio. So intensity is one of the main things you need to think about if you're intermediate and advanced and you want to continue to see results. So a beginner, they really don't have to go very hard in order to see results the way they want to see them. But intermediate and advanced, you have to be pushing yourself in order to see results. Your body has to have a reason to continue to improve, to continue to get bigger, to continue to get stronger, better cardio and endurance, more power and explosiveness. You have to push yourself and you have to get uncomfortable in order to force your body to make the adaptations that you want to see.